Massive shifts are flowing in for you because you've done the work. This is no joke, but it is a cosmic play. This shift is everything that you've been waiting for, or rather, that you've been ready for, because most of success is preparation, right? When people talk about overnight success, right? They're seeing the result in the 3D material manifest world, right? The hologram, the matrix, whatever you want to call it. But what they're not seeing is the countless hours of dedication, of the honing of the craft, of the inner work, of the years of devotion that went into the preparation that made that vibrational grid possible for that manifestation to happen. So when you pop out, like when a rocket pops out into the atmosphere, when that rocket is going out of the atmosphere, you can guarantee it's moving through resistance. The literal law of gravity is trying to pull that rocket back into the earth. And that when that rocket breaks through the atmospheric barrier, it launches into space. And now it's launched by its own momentum into space, into the new frontier, right? This is a metaphor for the breaking through the barrier of no resistance. And what is no resistance as a clear channel? What you might be, what you very well are at this point, becoming a clear channel of divine inspiration, the divine expression of your seed within, of the consciousness. The seed knows how to become the plant it is, right? It's in your divine DNA, your designer genome, your designer genes. Put your designer genes on. It's time to dance this new version of yourself. Remember, right? Neo, when Morpheus is a red pill, blue pill, and Neo steps out of the Matrix, and he goes through the Jedi training, he learns how the Matrix works, he steps back into the Matrix. So you are like in between two worlds, but you're already in the new earth. You can go play in the Matrix and you can still be in the new earth. And in fact, what you're doing is you're bringing the light of the new earth into the Matrix and helping other people just by holding the prayer of, may all beings be free. May all beings be free of suffering. And you're bringing that blessing and you're bringing that light because you've done the shadow work. And because you've now with the contrast, right? So when you break through that barrier, what is the state of non-resistance? Flow. It's pure flow state. Flow is just no resistance. But there's no flow without resistance. It's yin and yang. It's duality, right? It's the context for the other, and it's the edge between those things. So you've been riding this edge of evolution. You've been honing your intuition. So today I manifested a rental car that allows me to drive for Lyft. And they just wanted $50 down. I went down. They basically asked me no questions, very simple terms, and let me choose. I was 4 or 5 nice cars, and they were all really nice. And I chose the Volkswagen, and it gave me an extra opportunity to make money while I'm here. And so the reason I'm sharing this is everything in life is an example of metaphysics. So at first I felt really resistant to it because I'm like, oh, I don't want to go back into that world. I'm already making money through my gifts. Like, do I need to do that? And I had a lot of old shadow stuff come up. And then when I really felt through that, clearing through those feelings of feeling trapped or like not valued or all that stuff, and I fully like loved on those parts of myself, the resistance dissolved, and I realized, oh, it's a great opportunity. I don't have to do it. I can do it. It's an opportunity, and it's what you make of it. And then when I did it, the whole thing was very flow state, and I actually really enjoyed it. And yeah, it was just a fun experience. And so the reason I'm sharing this is that while I was, the whole thing seemed to be very much aligned, where it was like, I'm in this world and then I'm encountering people, but I'm like in the flow state. And it's like I'm coming from the new earth and I'm like moving through the matrix of Portland and learning what the city is, and like interacting with people and talking with people. It's actually giving me a great opportunity to like connect with and learn the city here. And I love driving. And yeah, and then I had this really interesting interaction with a woman that I picked up that, like, you know, she had that hippie vibe. And I mentioned that I had lived in Sedona for a couple of years, and she shared this whole story of like how she was led there when she was a teenager and went out into the middle of the desert and was like playing didgeridoo and trying to talk to the aliens. And then I just like struck up and started talking about shadow work, because we were talking about like, you know, how people are like angry drivers, and we were talking about how that's like an example of like repressed emotion, and I just jokingly tossed out shadow work. And then I'm starting to realize that she actually is like conscious, so I start going into it, and then eventually it becomes like super meta, where I'm like driving the thing, I'm like, yeah, you know, just to be like a trippy alien for a second, this is literally why I incarnated here on this planet. Is it doesn't matter what I'm doing. And I literally said this to her. I was like, I'm like playing the human right now who's driving the lift car for you, but you know, everything's an opportunity to infuse love into and spread love into the planet. And that happens through the shadow work. Like, I'm not talking about just like light, fluffy unicorn bunny rainbow farts. I'm talking about like the real grit of the human experience allows you the full spectrum, like, and that's very tantric, right? It's like being very present to this experience and not bypassing it is also like not just dwelling in the light of feeling how blissful the light is. It's also coming into the darkness and the contrast of that more like scorpionic edge of the integration of the shadow, right? Just being real, because that's what we do on this channel. We're being real on this channel, right? And so she was like, you know, she's like, you know, I wouldn't have taken you for a love alien, but you pulled it off pretty well. And I was joking. I'm like, yeah, you know, I can put my cloak on when I need to blend in, when I need to. And so anyways, I share all this because when I came back, my girlfriend wasn't here, and I was wondering where she was because her stuff was here. And I was a little bit in protector mode because I thought I was going to see her when I got back. And then I went outside and I was just sitting there tuning in because I couldn't get a hold of her, and so on and so forth. And then I was like, I'm not typically one to worry about, you know, and so I was like tuning in, and I'm like, no, I'm just wanting to be a protector. And then I tuned in and I couldn't get in touch. So I like telepathically tuned in with her, and I literally got this message of like my friend, I saw in my mind's eye her friend coming to pick her up, and that she was in a forest. And at first I kept seeing this image of the forest. I'm like, is she at the park? But then I'm like, but I'm seeing that her friend picked her up. So, and then I'm like, I tuned in and I just hear, I'm okay. And then I'm like, okay, she's okay. And in that exact moment, she texts me. I hear ding, and she's literally said on the text, my friend came and picked my friend from this area that I told you, it came and picked me up, and we're in the redwoods. And I was like, right. Because we're all connected. And what I realized through that is that one of my gifts is clairvoyance. right? And clairaudience. Like I see images of things in the field and I hear messages from my guides. And when these little things happen, and maybe you have, maybe one of you or some of you is meant to hear this message because you actually have clairaudience. You actually have clairvoyance or claircognizance, because on some level we are all psychic. It is supernatural, right? We're all connected. Like that's what they speak of in the Hermetic principles, is that all is mind. So everything is made of vibration. This is quantum theory, right? Everything in the universe is vibrating in a field of energy. Space is not a vacuum in the way that it is empty. It is a vacuum. If you actually study quantum physics, you understand that a vacuum is actually filled with 99.99999% of all energy in the universe is actually inside of the quantum vacuum of space, which is the vector equilibrium. The vector equilibrium is the perfect symmetrical star tetrahedron geometry of the flower of life, or Metatron's cube, or the star tetrahedron. These are all just different ways of looking at the same basic pattern of consciousness that is the vector equilibrium. It's called a vector equilibrium because it's at equilibrium at every vector. A vector means infinitely scalable. In or out, infinitely scalable down to the infinitesimal, infinitely scalable out into the universe. This is a universal pattern that is exactly perfectly balanced. Of course it is, because creation is perfect. Because creator's a genius. Give it up, man. Creator's a genius. Bless it. Thank you, creator. Everybody talks about how they're the creator. I create my reality. I'm like, dude, thank the creator, okay? Like, yeah, we're all creators, right? That's great. But yeah, like at least you can do whatever you want. It's free will, right? I'm just saying, for me, this is my truth, is I like to give up my thanks to the creator and give my life to the creator, because my life is an expression of the creator. And that's what allows me to be an empowered creator, right? It's aligning my will with the divine will, and I do that through intuition. That's why my life's work in my gene keys is all about following my intuition. And I do that through my Jedi training in life, is to do that through being aware of unease, right? It's being aware of anxiety. Something feels off. What do most people come to me? They're empaths, they're starseeds, they're light workers. What? You're sensitive to energy. What do you need to do? You need to come into your own frame. You need to come into your own center. You need to come into the present moment. You need to be more in your body. And it's in the medicine of embodiment, right? Empaths need to be embodied with more boundaries. That's why you attract narcissists, because narcissists are so in their own trip that it's all about them, and then empaths are so in the other that it's all about others, right? Realize that they're teaching you something, balance it within yourself, and then you realize how to be a sovereign being, right? That's the whole trick of the game, right? To self-actualize through that process. And this is the work that you've been doing, right? This is unlocking your psychic powers, your psychic gifts. If you want more support of navigating your journey, you can also get readings with me. But my readings aren't just like I'm giving you the answers. My readings are to help you tap into your own intuition. I just use the cards as a tool. I've worked without the cards. Like, you can access your intuition straight without the cards. So if you are called to a reading with me, the deepest work that I offer beyond tarot is Akashic clearing, which is going into your timelines, cleaning your threads, cleaning your timeline, healing your ancestral karmas, all right, and clearing your Akashic records, going into your Akashic records, and literally clearing. It's like a clearing modality of taking responsibility for your energies, and a soul reclamation process that I can help you unlock And then once you get that and you really understand that process, you can do it with yourself too. So it's like, it's helpful to have people that can support you on your journey. That's definitely helped me. But anything that I offer, whether it's a reading, whether it's a session, whether it's a course, whether it's this video, everything is to empower you to be your own, insert blank here, right? To tap into your own guidance system, okay? And ultimately, that's what you've been tapping into, right? Is this ability to fine-tune your vibration, this ability to have increased discernment, this ability to get telepathic messages, to feel more connected to the field, to read the collective energies. And if you're feeling like you need any more support at this time, feel free to reach out to me. You can find my email on my YouTube channel if you have any questions. If you want to leave a comment about what resonates, or you can ask questions in the comments. Some people like to reach out to me privately. If you'd like to learn about readings, I have readings available. If you've seen my other tarot, they're more like alchemical journeys, right? They're not just like fortune telling, right? These are like a transformative process. And this is a transformative process to work with the elements and the archetypes in your life, right? This isn't just about getting the answers, right? This is about understanding. The tarot is understanding the elements and the archetypes within your soul, right? And eventually you don't need it, you know, it's a tool. And that's why it's so powerful to work with tarot, I find, for magic, because it's very much working with earth, air, water, and fire, with the cups, with the swords, with the wand, you know, with the pentacle, and understanding what archetypes you're navigating, and where you're trying to go if you have any questions of things you're trying to navigate in your life. And also, if you want to learn more about Akashic clearings, you can go to my website, ashasun.com. You can explore both of them there. I've got, for a limited time, I've got 15-minute long tarot videos that you send me your query and I tune in to your energy and I make the video and send it to your email, right? And they're like super reasonable cost. If you want my direct attention, I have 30-minute Zoom call ones that I record, and those are a bit more. But if you want a deeper experience, the most deep experience, if you're really looking for profound clearing and transformation, alchemical transformation, navigating your awakening, navigating your ascension, I would say book an Akashic clearing with me. That's an hour-long session. This is a deep dive into your guides, connecting with your ancestral lines, healing your masculine and feminine, clearing out the subconscious patterns and anything that's blocking you and your creative fulfillment and your flow, right? Integrating your shadow, stepping into your light. And also on my page, I have meditations and courses that you can check out. It's all very accessible. And soon enough, I'll have a transformational container coming out. It's going to be looking like a 3-month-long journey that's really about clearing the channel and opening up the pathways to be a clear channel of divine expression. And so ultimately, this energy is bringing through a message of encouragement, a message that all this flow state is happening for you because you're on the right track, because you've been doing the work of integrating the masculine and feminine. You've been integrating the light and the shadow, right? And this is allowing you to be in the Wu Wei, right? Which is a Taoist name for that flow of that polarity, right? To be in the flow, to be in the Tao, to be in that state of receptivity where you're also receiving the impulses and you're putting in inspired action. And that's amplifying. That energy amplifies through that, at least with my energy type. And if you're drawn to my energy type, you're being drawn to a generative energy type, by the way. And so learning how this electromagnetic generative energy of like being in the bliss, being in the satisfaction in any moment, even if the thing seems mundane. But it's like, if you feel the impulse, why is it there? And then when you follow it, it opens up all these other pathways, because the new earth timelines are fully here and available for us. And then as you're unlocking, it's like unraveling all these strands of possibilities, like having expanded levels of free will and choice. And now where you put your energy and your attention goes, flows, and the level of profound empowerment with technology and how all of this is evolving in this online space as well, in our daily lives, with the access to all the solutions of what you can also create in the earth and the gardens you can grow and everything with your creative projects, and all of this capacity of this energy right now is amplifying your thought. We're moving into the age of the ether, where thoughts become things in a more accelerated way. It is a more quantum manifestation we are stepping into. So really going in, clearing out the channels, clearing the pathways, aligning pure thought, intention, words, speech, and action, all aligned with your higher self, all the way grounded into the core of Gaia, grounded into your embodiment, your divine masculine, feminine embodiment and balance, is what allows you to channel your power as a leader of the new earth, which you don't have to try to lead anyone. You are the leader of the new earth when you assume that identity. You are the leader of your new reality, and you are an inspiring example of the consciousness of possibility manifesting of what all that is focusing into this focal point of you, of this divine immaculate expression of you, of your uniqueness, that divine hologram of uniqueness coming through you. So remember how powerful you are. Remember the guides and they're learning through you. Consciousness is expanding through you. Remember who you are. Remember your hocus focus.